There's a new survey out this morning that claims more than half of parents surveyed say their children would not have enough to eat if it weren't for school meals. That survey coming from the organization No Kid Hungry. And joining us right now is Mariana Joyal. She is the Senior Manager for Media and Engagement with No Kid Hungry. Mariana, thanks for joining us and appreciate you taking time out to talk with us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us to talk about this really important findings.
Well, let's talk about this because it's shocking when I saw the numbers. 59%, according to your survey, 59% of parents say that their child would not have enough to eat if it weren't for school meals. So can you give us some context to this? Who did you talk to, in what states, and how many people were part of the survey?
That's right. The survey results are definitely shocking and so relevant. We're talking, we surveyed over 1,200 parents nationwide across all demographics, and what we found was a common thread. We're talking about it's back to school season, and parents with low incomes are facing a mounting financial pressure to afford their essentials like groceries, household bills, and now they're having to afford school supplies as their kids are getting ready. So we're talking about nationwide, 83% are worrying about being able to buy all the food they usually would due to this rising cost. We did get some data across the regions. So we spoke to some parents in the Midwest, and they told us that the highest financial pressure, it's really forcing them to make really tough choices. In the past 12 months, we're talking about the lack of funds having to make them drive them to these impossible choices. We're talking about 40% in the Midwest told us they either had to skip a utility bill such as electric or gas, and 51% are having to cut back on groceries, and other parents are having to skip meals. But there are school nutrition programs that are a lifeline for so many families.
Right. And after doing this survey, and I'm sure it took some time to compile all this information, what does this say about the state of food insecurity in the U.S. and where we have been and where we're now currently at?
Absolutely. This is so many more families are facing surmounting pressure just due to the rise in food prices, and we're also seeing a lot of cut in nutrition programs that are key for so many families. 4.5 million people have lost SNAP eligibility this year due to HR 1, and we're talking about that includes 1.5 million children. Parents with low incomes are really facing mounting financial pressure to just face the most basic necessities such as nutrition. That's why for all of these families and many more, school meals are a constant in their life, and they are the most important source of nutrition because it guarantees that they come to school ready to learn.
Right, and we know a child who is well fed will do much better, certainly when it comes to not only learning, test taking, and just retention and all that goes with that. Are there any personal stories that you'd like to share from those you surveyed? Anything that kind of stood out in your mind as to something you would like to talk about?
Absolutely. One huge takeaway is that these are working parents. These are working parents that sometimes have 2 or 3 jobs that are really still struggling to make ends meet, although they're dedicating a lot of time, and not only that, having to put more time to work, which is taking away from their time with their families. We heard from parents like Joelanis in New York and others in Texas that this inflation and this hardship is really taking a toll on them, and that without the certainty of nutritious school meals, they would really struggle to guarantee, and they would have to put off paying expenses and other surmounting pressures that would be really hard for them to deal with. But they will always put their children first.
Well, right. That's what parents do. That is for sure. All right. Mariana Joyal, Senior Manager in Media Engagement at No Kid Hungry. We appreciate your time and thanks for chatting with us this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
You bet.